Now back to the album. I was listening to it last night and I really enjoyed listening to it in its entirety. Is that your goal with an album, for it to be like one big piece, or do you prefer people to just pick out songs here and there that appeal to them?
Whichever. I mean, of course, you would like people to listen to the whole thing, so I appreciate that you did that very much. And you know, that when I put it all together, it felt like an album, you know, a real record lover's record to listen to front to end. So that would be the ultimate desire, but that's not very realistic, and I have to just acknowledge that. But you know, I've said this before, but someone recently tweeted out that they said, "Who needs a playlist when you have Run?" So I think that kind of says it all. You can get a little bit of everything on the record if you just listen.
Are you quite pleased that it doesn't sound like you've pandered to like the commercial needs? It's still got eccentricity. It's still kind of crazy in its way.
I am, yeah. I'm very proud of that, but I think that we're going to shock people when we have a couple songs that do better than maybe they would think. But that's what it was with the first record too, you know. Although I do think that the first record somehow, I don't even know, honestly. I really don't know what the huge difference is. I just think that Run is better and bigger sounding and, you know, a more mature record. But I still do appreciate, and I'm very proud of Megalithic Symphony at the same time. So, you know, again, it's like choosing which child you like best, you know. Yeah. I don't even know.
Now, when we spoke about Radiohead last time, you said you went to see them live and they didn't do enough OK Computer or Kid A or anything like that. So do you keep that in your mind when you do a set list and think, I've got to put...
We have 2 records, so I don't have...
In time, though, when you get to that stage.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. But, you know, we played with them at Coachella, and they just had an off night for me. And then I saw them again in Brazil at another festival that we played with them like a month later, and they blew my mind. Yeah. So, you know, you never know. I mean, I'm sure we've had off nights to some of our fans who are like, you know, that wasn't as good as the other time we saw them. So that's going to happen.
It's just life, isn't it?
Yeah, and you never know what they're going through. And you can't feel like a slave on stage. And you have to play for yourself, too. So, but yeah, I'm aware of that. And you know, we try to stay aware of what our fans think, so we wouldn't want to alienate anyone too much.
You say that you're not that into kind of current music as a rule. Are there any ones, like new bands, that are kind of floating your boat a bit?
The only band that I really respect and loved that has come out recently was Alt J, and you know, their new record's okay. There's a couple songs I like a lot, but one in particular that I love, a song called Pusher, I think. I love that song, but their first record, An Awesome Wave, really blew my mind. I was very appreciative to have an alternative record come out that pleased me that much, and I really liked it a lot.
Does it make it hard when you're picking support acts, you know, people that you want to show like your taste in a way by your choice of support act, if you're not liking anyone that's available, or, you know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Full stop. We won't go there.
I don't have anything else to say, but yeah, I agree with you very much.
Yeah. Just going back to something else Tim said.
If the band's so good before you, you know, there's a hardcore band I love called Ceremony.
Yeah.
And that's the other band I love very much. You know, Alt J is on a whole nother level than them. For a punk band, Ceremony is my favorite right now, and I'd love to have them play. But the only problem is, I would have so much fun during their set that it would be hard for me to play after. You know, so it's tricky as well.
Yeah. Now I want to go back to something else Tim said, and that's how he loves your kind of screaming melodic voice you have. Like most people, when they find out they've got a good voice, it's from singing along on the radio or in a choir, but that's not sort of the range that you're doing when you're singing along in the car. So how did you find out that you could do that? Do you remember that first time that you made that good noise?
I remember the first time I learned how to scream properly in my hardcore band. I was screaming kind of like the same way that you would scream if there was a burglar in your house, you know, just without any control, just, you know, and then at a certain point I learned how to kind of control it more and make it go as long as I wanted, or, you know, and almost do it in key. And you know, I'd sing in my falsetto before that, then this bratty sort of like punk rock kind of vocal, then only screaming, then went into like kind of rock singing, I guess you would call it. And then that progressed into more of a pop sounding vocal I was doing. And then when I started Awolnation, I was finally ready to put it all together and kind of bridge the gap between each different part of my voice. So I don't still know what it is at all, you know.
It's a mystery.
I don't think of it like, oh, I'm gonna scream on this part or whatever. It's just whatever the right note is and whatever the right emotion is gonna happen is what I allow to happen, I guess.
Now, listening back to the album yourself, can you listen to it and enjoy it, or do you hear things, I wish I'd changed that bit, or gone higher there, or did more layers
You're
there?
only backlit right now, so your face is basically a shadow, which is probably a good feeling, right? I mean, that would be cool if my whole life... In fact, how you look to me is how we look on stage. You can't see our face, which is cool to me. Some people are like, man, we can't see your face, but that's neat to me to have an experience like that. I wish I could see your face, but I'm not trying to make this any weirder than I already did. But
It's a good thing.
anyways, what was your question?
What was my question? Can you listen back to your album and listen to it just as a listener, or do you analyze it and are you critical about bits and bobs?
Well, once it was done and mastered, and I showed it to a couple buddies and had that sort of experience, the toothpaste was already out of the tube. I couldn't put it back in. It was done. So like I was able to listen to it in that way and just kind of enjoy it and celebrate and just kind of like let go and appreciate the work that was done. But I'll tell you that on this record, I didn't have those front to end listens with other people like I did the first time around, because you're only going to be let down. You want people to say, that is the most incredible musical experience of my whole entire life. Nothing will ever be better. That's the only reaction really that I ever want. Anything less than that is disappointing.
Yeah.
So I gave that up, and what I did on this one is I just gave early copies to some of my buddies and let them just live with it, for a couple weeks, and then they gave me the review, which was astonishingly good. And I don't surround myself with a bunch of yes people, so it was coming from a genuine place, which was nice.
So they would be brutal with you if they didn't.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what you want. Yeah.
They wouldn't want to hurt my feelings, but they'd be like, I got to be honest with you, I just don't get it, or I'm not hearing it, or whatever, And these are a lot of people who I respect their opinions musically very much, and artistically, and as human beings. So, I got good reviews from those people, and that was important.
Good news. Are you already writing new music for the next album, or do you give yourself a bit of a breather?
Writing for me isn't. There's no formula for it. So I mean, I have thousands of ideas in my phone that haven't even been explored. There's ideas I started on for Run that didn't come to life that I'd like to get into. And I've been working on another artist by the name of Sikabad Sane's record to debut sometime, hopefully, this year, but we're just figuring it all out right now. So I'm doing production and writing for other people as well.
Do you find you work better when you're in a happy place, or if you're going through a turbulent, kind of stressful time? Does it come out better?
I think they're both pretty cool. The sexier, cooler answer would be to say in dark times, I come up with this good stuff. And that's definitely true. It's intense, but the feeling I have in my heart and soul is not that good. So I don't feel that good necessarily. But it's at the same time, when I'm in a happy place, I'm able to tap into some stranger, darker music, I think. And I've always found happiness in dark music in some weird way. That's why I gravitated so much towards OK Computer. That record made me feel so free and good, even though at times it was very dark and sad. I guess there's not a ton of happy music that I like.
I'm the same. I'm all about a minor key and getting a bit depressed.
Yeah. But I think you need the major keys to appreciate the minor keys sometimes too. So
it's like the relief, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the dark and light of life,
Now, last time we ended with a discussion about whether surfing or music was better. What have you decided now? What do you think's better for you and your soul?
I don't know. They're equal. They really are. Because the problem with surfing is there's people surfing, so you're just trying to find a place to surf alone or with your buddies, and so that's the only downfall of surfing. And the weather, you can't predict it. So sometimes it's very frustrating. You do all your research and you show up to the spot and it's not good, and you were so excited about it. And overhyped, and didn't sleep the night before because you thought the waves were going to be so good when you showed up. Got up before the sun came up, showed up to the beach, ready to paddle out as the sun rises, and it's shit. That's a terrible feeling. Where music, for me being so involved in it now, there's a lot of ups and downs with writing. If I'm feeling good about the song I wrote, then I'm feeling excited, like I have this secret weapon that no one has. Or if I'm having a hard time, then I can be frustrated and get down on myself a little bit, So they're pretty equal, but they both give me the best feeling you could possibly ever get, you know.
Last time we spoke, surfing was beaten.
Yeah, but that was just because I don't know.
Bad interview day.
Yeah. Yeah, that was because yeah, the
Bad
weather
hair
wasn't
and
right or
stuff.
something. Yeah, exactly. It was your hair was throwing me off, you know.
Now, finally, did you hear that your song was on The Voice UK and performed by a girl called Sasha?
I heard that that happened recently, right?
You haven't checked it out then?
No, I heard she just goes crazy, right, or something, and like a lot of riffing.
Yeah, ish. I just wondered how you feel about
Was it
people.
horrible or was it?
No,
cool?
she got good.
She did Sail.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I don't
But
know.
do you have a problem with people kind of doing in different
No.
interpretations, or are you kind of excited to see what different people can do with it?
No, I'm really excited because it's hilarious usually to watch Wolf. Well, I'll find this today before we play. Well, I have my one little drink before we play and have a
Yeah.
good time watching it. You know, that's not the first time people have done things like that. People have done song. What was it for? The Voice, you said?
Yeah, a reality talent show.
Did she do well? Did she get a good review?
She's still in it. so
Yeah, see, so I'm just trying to help
Yeah.
just trying to help the voice out, you know.
She belted it at the end. She went full voice.
Full voice, huh?
She is good. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that was just another. I mean, I bet you there's so many different people that heard her sing that song that had never heard Sail.
Yeah.
You know, totally different kind of audience that I would never get to otherwise. So it's a huge, you know, blessing kind of miracle for me.
So you don't have any feelings about, oh, it's on a reality talent
No,
show. That's all right by you.
No, the song speaks for itself. You know,
Yeah.
once I release something, I feel like, you know, unless it was used for like a tampon commercial or you know, a McDonald's commercial, you know, it
Think
would
of
be.
the money though.
Yeah, we've been offered stuff for, you know, an absurd amount of money that I had to turn down, and it was hard to turn down, but
Yeah.
you just got to do it because sometimes saying no is you know, creates a better yes later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just took everything else, then we'd be just like every other douchebag band on a major label. That not that they all are, but you know. This isn't just about money for us. It's great
Yeah.
to be able to pay the bills, and you know, I want to do as good as I can, obviously, and provide for my family for years to come, hopefully. But there's a real thin line, you know, of balancing that.
Okay. And when will we see you next in the UK? Because I think you're in America for most of the year doing touring, aren't you?
I think in the fall, I guess.
Okay, cool.
So August, September, October, I think is what I heard, but I'm not sure exactly when.
Okay, lovely. I think I've got everything. Yeah, that's
Cool.
right. Thank you very much.